appreciate it. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce author and illustrator Jacob Grant. Jacob is here today to help us celebrate Children's Book Week, but to also celebrate his newest adorable picture book, Bear Meets Bear. He'll be reading from Bear Meets Bear and a couple of his other titles, and he'll be doing draw alongs with us for each one. So make sure you have some paper and pencils ready for your own masterpieces. Jacob, welcome, and I'll pass it on to you.
All right. Well, thank you, Hannah, for that introduction. Greatly appreciate it. So, as she was saying, I'm Jacob Grant, and I am an author and an illustrator who makes picture books. Yes, picture books. Now, you guys probably know this, but being an author and an illustrator means that I both write all the words and I draw all of the pictures. And so today we're going to get into some drawing and some reading. And I want to say welcome to my tiny home studio where I have jammed an easel in between the cabinet and my desk. It's pretty tight in here. But we're going to get into some books here. The first one we're going to start with today is a story called Cat Knit. Now, looking at the cover of this book, you will see we have a cat and a ball of yarn. And that cat is not happy about being all wound up in that yarn. So we'll find out what Cat's story is in Cat Knit. Now, Cat and Girl had always been good friends. So there they are, sitting at the house. Looks like it's snowing outside. And one day, Girl brought home a colorful new guest. His name was Yarn. Now, Cat was fascinated by Yarn. He'd never had a friend so bright and rolly. The two of them were inseparable. And so we can see them playing games together, playing tic-tac-toe, building a snowman, going sledding, or even sharing a book together there. But Girl also wanted to play with Yarn. Cat is not so happy about that, is he? And Cat waited and waited. He wasn't sure what Girl was up to, but he didn't like it. So we can see by the window there, looks like the girl has some knitting needles. And when Yarn returned, he wasn't his usual bouncy self. What do you think happened to his friend Yarn? Cat's friend had changed. Oh no. Yarn has become a sweater? Oh, Cat did not like this new Yarn one bit. He was itchy and stuffy and no fun at all. Oh, our angry Cat. Now, Cat was so mad, he hardly noticed the cold snow. And so we see Cat marching away from the house and away from Girl, out into the snow there. Because he had to get away from this new Yarn. And so we see Cat kicking and scratching, pulling at that sweater until finally he snags his friend on the tree there. Now soon, Cat realized just how cold it was. And so he's left Yarn back here on the tree, and we can see he's walked away, but he's looking back. Because warming up to something new takes time. And Yarn may have changed, but they would always be friends. And so they are all back at the house together, Cat, Girl, and Yarn, and all is well. And then one day, Girl brought home a group of colorful guests. More yarn. And what do you think she'd be up to with that? Oh, our poor cat. Now it only has a sweater, but a nice hat and mittens to go along with it. The end. All right. Now, in this story, our cat has a lot of emotions. He's angry, he's happy, he's sad. And so what I want to do is I'm going to draw a scene from the book, and maybe you guys can give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down on how you think cat is feeling. And the first scene I'm going to start with is going to be with our ball of yarn. Just a nice circle there, and next to it, our cat's boxy head. And then I'm going to draw a line behind that, which is going to be our cat's body, and a little tail on that side of the yarn. And we're going to add some string lines on our yarn. Extra yarny. And we're going to add a paw here. So a little paw going in front of our cat. And 2 eyes. Now, in the story, little triangle nose there. In the story, when our cat was sitting with his friend Yarn, and they were sharing a book together, how do you think our cat was feeling? Do you think it was angry? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Do you think he was sad? I think our cat was happy. Our cat was happy because he was very much enjoying sharing this book with his friend. And to make our cat look happy, not all cats have eyebrows, but my cat does. And we're going to use those eyebrows. We're going to raise them up, and we're going to add a little smile to his face there to show how much our cat is enjoying sharing that book with his friend. Let's try another one here. All right. Now, this next scene from the book, I am going to start with, let's see, we'll start over here with, again, our cat's boxy head, 2 ears. We're going to add his back, which is going to be a large line swooping over behind him. And this is actually going to be his tail there. Down here, we're going to add 2 little legs. And back here, we'll add 1 more leg. And our cat is actually going to be out in the snow. And so our cat is out in the snow, and back here on the hill, let's see if you guys can see that on the camera. It's getting kind of high. There we go. We're going to have a tree stump, and his friend Yarn sitting there hanging from the tree stump. Little footsteps leading away from it. Now, in the story, when our cat had left his friend back there by the tree, and he stops looking back at his friend, how do you think our cat was feeling? Was he happy? No, he was not happy. Was he sad? Yes, I think our cat was quite sad. And so to make our cat look sad, we're going to put a little frown on his face. And then we're going to use those same cat eyebrows, and we're going to angle them up over the eyes to make our cat look sad. And so again, takes very little to make those tweaks there to just make our cat look sad. The power of eyebrows. It can do so much. And we're going to do one more scene from this book. And this last one is going to be, we're going to draw our cat's boxy head there, just with 1 ear this time. Our cat's back is going to be this line curving down behind him. 2 little legs in front. A tail over here. And we're going to add a sweater onto our cat. And the reason we only added 1 ear is because over here we're going to add a hat onto our cat. There we go. A nice hat, and we need some mittens. Let's give this cat some mittens just to fully do this. Now, when the cat had not only a sweater and a hat, but also Mittens. How was our cat feeling? Was he angry? He was angry, so angry. And to make our cat look angry, he's not even going to have those eyes open all of the way as he scowls at us. There's a little triangle nose. We'll add a frown on his face. And we're going to put those eyes right there. So he's looking at us. And what's really going to make this cat look angry is those eyebrows. And so I'm going to take those eyebrows and I'm going to angle them in real close to show how grumpy our cat is with his sweater and his hat and mittens. All right. Should we get into our next story here? Get into our next story? All right. Now, the next story I want to share with you all is a book called Through with the Zoo. And looking at the cover of this book, you will see we have a goat. And who is that goat running from but a pack of wild children? Not looking so good for goat. And so we'll find out what Goat's story is in Through with the Zoo by Jacob Grant. And that's me. All right. And this book is dedicated to Javi, our little goat. There we go. Now, Goat always dreamed of having space. He didn't want hugs or rubs or anyone near him. But Goat lived in a petting zoo. Not a good place to be if you want space. Now, every day the small petting zoo was packed with grabby little hands. And Goat looked out at the animals in the big zoo, so safe from the wild children. And so Goat looks out and he sees a koala over here. He sees an elephant over here. And nobody can get near them, can they? Now he would find a space out there just for him. So he leaps the fence out of the petting zoo and into the big zoo. Now, he tried living with a clingy koala. Did that koala bear give him space? Thumbs up or thumbs down? No, that koala bear did not give him any space. He tried living with a nosy elephant. What do you think? Space, yes or no? No, not enough space. Oh no, Goat tried living with many animals. But space was not an easy thing to find. I especially love this bear, treating him like a baby bear. Now, finally, Goat's search brought him to a lone tree. And it was a quiet place that could be all his own. So we can see the sun setting. It's starting to get late in the day. And Goat had more space than he'd ever dreamed of. But was it too much? He looked all around and knew that no one could get near him anymore. No little faces, no little hands, no little hugs. All that empty space was missing something. And so Goat looks out from the tree, and what does he see in the distance there but the petting zoo? I think Goat was a little homesick, don't you? Now, Goat runs past the bears, the monkeys, the penguins as they all wave goodbye, because Goat never thought he would miss the petting zoo. But everyone needs a hug now and then. Now, whenever Goat wanted a little space, he knew just where to find it. And so when he needed that space, he could always go back to that tree. Still look at the petting zoo in the distance. The end. All right. Now, fun fact with this book, we have the pack of children chasing goat, which wraps around to the back. And I was able to get some people in here. This is actually my niece and my nephew. And then that is my baby boy, who is not a baby anymore. He is now 5, much bigger. But in this story, we talk a lot about space. And our goat, more than anything, he wants to find personal space. So to talk about that, I'm going to start with a drawing of our goat. All right, and we're going to start with a nice little rectangle body there. I'm going to put a tail on it, a neck with a curved head there, 4 little legs, 2 horns, and an ear. I'm missing something though, aren't I? We need an eye right there in the middle, and a little bell collar. There we go. So there's our goat. And to talk about space, I'm going to draw a bubble around our goat. And that is our goat's personal space. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some animals to this drawing, and maybe you guys can tell me whether they are giving goat enough space. So the first one I like to add is a little penguin. And this little penguin's going to be down in the corner. It's going to be waving at goat. And do you think our penguin is giving goat enough space? Let's see if you guys can see that a little bit better. There we go. I think that penguin is just fine where he is. It's not too close. So we're gonna add another animal here. And this is going to be one of our baby bears. It's going to be getting a little bit closer. There's his nose, eyes, little ears. Now, is our baby bear giving goat enough space? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs down. I think our bear is okay. He is getting closer, but he is still well outside of goat's bubble. But I'm going to add one more animal here. This is going to be a very large animal. It's going to be swooping through. You guys probably know what animal this is already. It's a large trunk there, little eye. That is going to be our elephant. Now our elephant, is it too close to goat? Thumbs up, thumbs down. I think that he's too close to goat, but he's not touching the goat, is he? But he's well inside that bubble, and I don't think goat would appreciate that. And I always like to add one last animal to this drawing, to which I describe as the most wild of all animals. It's going to be sitting on the goat's back, grabbing the goat's ear. It's going to be wearing a t-shirt and shorts. There's eyes. Because this is our wild child. And is our child giving goat enough space? No, our child is far too close to goat. All right. I know this is a lot to keep up with drawing. I promise with the last book, it's going to be more of a slow, like shape drawing an animal. So we'll get there. But this brings us to our last book, and that I am very excited to share with you because this book is coming out next week. It's not even out yet, and you guys get to check it out. And it is called Bear Meets Bear. Now, again, looking at the cover of this book, you will see we have one bear who looks kind of pleasant, and one bear who maybe less pleasant, a little freaked out even. And then we have a spider who is throwing hearts everywhere and is quite excited about everything. So we'll find out what their story is in Bear Meets Bear. Now, Bear was waiting. He and Spider had ordered a new teapot, and it would arrive at their house that day. "It's always great fun to expect a delivery," said Bear. And when the doorbell rang, Bear was greeted by a delivery person he had never met before. "Package for Bear, please sign here," said Panda. Bear had never met such a charming lady bear. His heart beat fast. Bear wanted to say hello. He wanted to say something clever or funny or anything at all, but Bear's mouth would not move. Please sign for your delivery, she said again. Eventually, Bear signed his name. He stood there as Panda jumped on her delivery bike. He stood there as she pedaled away. He stood there nearly dropping the teapot. Spider found it all rather funny. Bear dashed across the room. One teapot is nice, said Bear. But wouldn't two teapots be nicer? Spider chuckled. He knew his friend was ordering another teapot to see Panda again. A silly bear. Now, once more, Bear was waiting. I wonder if the teapot could arrive today. I am sure today is the day. Or perhaps I should order another. Oh, she's here. Bum, bum. Now, when he saw Panda, Bear was speechless once again. Spider felt sorry for his friend. Look at them over there patting him on the back. Oh. Now, Spider felt less sorry when he saw Bear ordering another teapot. And another. And each time, Bear watched Panda walk away without a word. Spider encouraged Bear to talk to Panda, to invite her to tea, to at least remember to breathe and stop flooding their home with teapots. Bear nodded. I promise, Spider. This will be my final order. I am ready. And for one last time, Bear waited. But Bear was not ready for the unpleasant surprise the next morning. You're not Panda, whimpered Bear. The gruff raccoon shrugged. Sign here. Bear's heart hurt. I will never see Panda. I will never talk to Panda. And what am I going to do with so many teapots? There was little Spider could do to cheer up his friend. Except maybe one thing. Spider ventured out to find the lady bear himself. So Spider writes a little letter here. He gets his bike. And he asked everyone he knew if they had seen Panda. But Spider was not having much luck. Until he arrived at Duck's house. So Spider holds up the letter. The next day, Bear leapt when he saw his visitor. Hi, or hello again, said Panda. Your friend passed along your invite to tea. Bear felt his heart thumping. He felt his body freezing up. Bear looked at Spider and took a deep breath. Tea! Of course, of course. One moment, please. After some quick tidying of teapots, Bear welcomed Panda into his home. And it wasn't long before the two bears were chatting and laughing over tea and cookies. Spider was proud to see Bear finally acting himself. It was delightful talking with you, said Panda. Can you believe that most people I deliver to don't say a word to me? Bear smiled as Panda went on her way. Thank you for helping me, Spider. She is very nice. But Panda and I will not be meeting for tea again. Spider's like, What? Panda doesn't like tea, chuckled Bear. I mean, really. Everyone loves a cup of tea. What could be better than that? Bear found it all rather funny. I don't think Spider did, though, did he? But they did meet again, didn't they? And it looks like Bear is very skeptical of that lemonade he's being introduced to. And what did they do with the teapots? Ah, yes. Nothing like a yard sale. The end. All right. Now, in this book, we have our bear, we have our spider. There's lots of love. And I want to show you guys how I draw a bear. And the trick to drawing just about anything is starting with very simple shapes. So this is a good one where you guys can draw along with me, and I will not rush through it too quickly here. So we're going to start first with a big rectangle. So big, tall rectangle for our bear's body. You guys see that there? All right. We're going to add 2 little rectangles on the bottom for our bear's legs. You guys with me? All right. We're going to add 2 little bumps on top of that rectangle for our bear's ears. And then his arms are really just 2 big lumps on either side of his body. There we go. Are you guys with me still? Yeah, all right. So the next step is bear's nose, which is a circle. And inside of that circle, we're going to put a triangle. And we can color that in. And if we wanted to add some fur, we can put some little dashes, kind of make him look a little more shaggy. And because our bear is so smitten with this panda, we're going to give him little hearts for eyes on either side of that circle there. There we go. Can you guys hold up the drawings? Can I see them? Oh, yes. Oh, that's so good. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, I love it. All right. Should we draw spider? Do you guys want to draw spider? Yeah? All right, let's do that. Okay. Now, spider, unlike bear, who is a big rectangle, spider is a big, soft oval, like an egg. And so we're going to start with that. That's actually going to be our spider's head. And on top of it, I'm going to draw a big line, which I'm going to draw a little loop off of that because our spider has a button hat. So that's going to be his little button hat there. And then we're going to add another round shape behind our spider, which is going to be his bottom. And we'll draw a string from that. So there's his web. Our spider is hanging from a web. And how are we? Are you guys with me? All right. Next step, we're going to add some legs. I'm going to draw some big lines here for little legs coming down. You don't have to do exactly 8 legs. I'm going to do 3 or 4 on this side, maybe 1 over here, and then 1 that is going to be tilting up like that, like he's waving at us. And the next step, we're going to add in our spider's eyes. Do you guys have your legs? Are we good? All right. Now for the eyes, we're going to do 2 pretty large circles inside of our egg shape there. And each of those, I'm going to put a little circle inside of it to have him looking right at us. There we go. And then finally, because there's so much love in here, we're going to add a big heart that he's holding for us. There we go. Can I see you guys' drawings? Yes. Oh, yeah. That spider is looking a little scary. I like it. Does it have fangs? Ooh. Oh, I love it. Right next to bear too. That's perfect. And oh, that's great. Man, you guys got to color these. That would be excellent. Now, I think we have some time for questions. We're going to do
Yeah,
some questions.
we do have time for questions. So if anyone who's joining us here it feels comfortable with asking your question in person, you're welcome to do so. There is no pressure. But I'm going to start out by asking Jacob a question, and you can think about your own question. And then if you want to come on, just wave to us in your video, and I'll unmute you, and you can ask Jacob your question in person. If not, no pressure. I've got a couple questions prepared, so we can continue this way. So my first question to you, Jacob, is which of your characters is your favorite to draw?
Oh, wow. Out of all of them, that's a tough one. I think I really do enjoy drawing Bear the most because he is such a nice, like simple, boxy shape. And even when I am doing little sketches for the book, it's so fast to draw Bear in a scene because I just draw a rectangle, or maybe that rectangle is kind of bent at an angle because he's running, and it's like in terms of just design and ease to draw, I think Bear is my favorite. Um, I think second might be the goat. Just because I have a fondness for goats. I think they're amazing animals.
Very nice. So we do have one question. So I'm going to
Yeah.
unmute you, and I'm going to ask your, actually, I have to ask you to unmute. So there'll be a little message that pops up, and then just tell us your name and then ask your question.
Hi, my name is Oliver, and
Hi, Oliver.
the this is my mom over here. I don't think you can see her.
Hi, Oliver's mom.
Hi. This is my brother. My dad's working right now. Unfortunately,
Hey.
you cannot see. But my question is, how many drafts do you usually have to do when you write books?
Ooh. Now, are you in like second grade, third grade?
Third grade.
Okay, I was gonna say that's like a third grade question. How many drafts? You know, when it comes to making any of these books, I start with a very rough, just like I'll write a paragraph, and it'll be just a very simple idea like, hey, how about a story about a goat who lives in a petting zoo and you know wants to get space? Like that's it. Like it'll be a very simple idea, and it'll build from there where I'll write more and more, and I'll try and say like, okay, here's what the words are going to be, and then I'll pass it to my editor who will look at it and say, you need to change all of this. This part is not good. This is boring. And then I'll go through, I'll work on it again. And it's hard to say how many drafts because I think when making a book, it's a constant stage of revising. You're always changing it and always trying to make it better because sometimes a first idea can be good, but generally an idea gets good after thinking on it more and more and just working at trying to improve it. So that's not a great answer, but a lot. I do a lot of drafts.
Okay, that's a good answer. I I would also like to say, I really like your books, and I have a painted in my house.
Whoa! Where did you guys get that?
Where did you get that?
Dad bought it for him.
Oh, yeah. My dad, I think, bought it from you.
Okay, I think I remember this. Is it signed and everything?
Yeah.
It is
Wow.
signed.
Oh, I am so honored. It's nice to meet you guys. Like, that kind of thing doesn't happen very often for me when somebody is that excited about a book. So I am completely flattered and honored that you have it on your wall. That's so cool.
I have a question too.
Yeah.
How long have you been writing and drawing pictures?
Ooh, well, I've been drawing for a very long time. Since, I don't know, probably since I was in kindergarten, first grade, very little. I always loved drawing. And for me, that's how I got into books, and picture books especially, is because picture books are just books full of art. And I started really getting into writing much later. And I think I was probably, that might have been 10 years ago, something like that. And for me, writing is much more difficult. I can sit and I can draw and I just feel free. When I am writing, it can be a real struggle, and I'll sit there and I'll just work at things and work at things. And sometimes it's just writing lots of bad things to finally get something that works.
Yeah,
So a very long time.
yeah, I can definitely relate to that too. Yeah, I like drawing much better than the writing.
Yeah, and I can't overstate. Practice is everything. That's really, that's if you want to be the best at drawing or the best at writing, it's the more you do it, the more you do it, the better you will get at it. All right.
Thank
Those
you.
are great
Questions,
questions.
guys.
Yeah, thank you. Do we have any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, doesn't look like it. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us today for our story time event. Jacob, that was wonderful. I enjoyed it. I did the draw alongs as you were going. I don't know if you can see some online paper. So if you want to show Jacob your other drawings, I saw everybody trying to speed along. And I have a black cat, and he likes to sit on all of my craft projects. So I think he can relate, but he doesn't like, I don't put them on him, but he doesn't like that I'm doing them in general. But great drawings. Thank you so much.
Those are
That's
awesome.
wonderful. And Jacob, hopefully we can have you back again, especially to maybe during Valentine's Day to
Yeah,
celebrate your book again. And do you have any books on the pipeline that we can expect?
I do. I don't know if I have any artwork to share of the new book that's coming out, but I have a book that is coming out this spring, late spring, early summer. It is titled No Pants, and it is about a son and a father arguing about why we wear pants.
Awesome. I can't wait to hear that one.
It's
So hopefully we'll
very
have you
important
back for
subject.
either of those. Yeah. And thank you again to those of you who joined us. And I will get this up on our YouTube as soon as possible. And thank you again. And hopefully we'll see you all in the future.
All
Bye,
right.
Jacob. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.